Scott and Arver, we're getting closer and closer to Survivor Series, and I've been thinking a lot about Survivor Series dream matches.
Jiggly Bacon, tell me all about it.
Oh, I just wish that there was a way that we could explore what it would be actually like if different people throughout all of time got to face each other in Survivor Series matches.
Oh, why don't we just fire up your PlayStation and play WWE 2K24?
Oh, it's all the way over there.
We have such an extensive roster. We could play out all these dream matches and have fun.
I only have one controller.
Fine, then let's talk about it for an hour and a half.
Survivor Series dream matches today on Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hey, Scott and Arver.
Hey, Jiggler Bacon.
Hello, everybody out there joining us. Thanks for tuning in to the PWP. Thanks to those of you joining us live on the super exclusive patron-only live stream. I love it when there's folks in the chat.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the show. And if you're a listener and you're not a patron, so you're not in the chat, you're not here joining us on this lovely Sunday afternoon, talking about some silly shit like a bunch of nerds, well, you're missing out. So please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/pwpalskis.
Stop volunteering at the soup kitchen.
Yeah. What good has that ever done?
Yeah, it's just soup. Is there even any bread? No, watch us. Come hang out.
And of course, we must
take some soup.
We must acknowledge AJ0314, aka Binary, our current PWP champ. For the month of November. If you'd like to challenge him for that title, we'll become a patron over at patreon.com/pwpalskis.
Mm-hmm. Will you last longer? Who's to say?
Andrew Beeler is in the chat, and I did say, let's go, boys, at the beginning of the chat, and she's saying, I'm here too. I was not trying to be offensive or gender normative in any way. I was specifically responding to Tim Redbeard and Mike Lucas, who were the two people who spoke above Andrea.
Just saying women are late?
All I'm trying to say is maybe if you weren't out shopping all the time.
Oh, boy. This guy did stand up in the 80s over here.
What is up with Air9 Peanuts? They're
always shopping.
Alexandra and I, all of the gender norms about shopping and retail therapy and all and the deals, we are completely switched. Like she does not like to shop. She could give two shits about being out. If we go out somewhere, I want to go in every store. I want to walk down every aisle. I want to see everything.
Really? You have no discriminatory standards?
Every store that I think is interesting that might have a thing.
I didn't know if you like Bed Bath & Beyond.
I fucking love a Bed Bath & Beyond.
Really?
Unfortunately, they're all closed.
All of them?
I think they went out of business.
I still get coupons.
Really? Did they go out of business? Maybe just the one by us went out of business. I was like, that's it. Everyone must have sold.
You didn't go enough.
It's because nobody fucking knew what the Beyond meant. We had no idea that we could buy.
This guy does comedy in the early 2000s.
I didn't know that I could buy pewter dragons there. Okay,
sure you did.
If you would have put that as if it was Bed Bath and pewter dragons, then maybe I would have shopped there more.
Anyways, I see my name in there. What does it say?
It says, Scott, I was in Dallas over the weekend for a concert. Andrea says.
Oh, what concert?
Where in Dallas?
Dallas.
Did
you ever go to Dallas when you were in Texas?
We drove through it.
So
I think. No, we never went to Dallas.
Should have done stuff in Dallas. I hear they have concerts.
It was so far away.
Not when you drive through it.
To get home, I think we drove through it. Meaning it was on.
You were drunk, it sounds like.
No, that was.
I think we drove through it. I don't know. I heard a child scream.
Globe Life Field in Dallas. Lincoln Park. Oh, shit.
Crawling in my skin.
Crawling in my skin at Globe Life Field in Dallas.
I think they got a lady now as part of one of the singers, a replacement. Because I don't know there's drama amongst
Chester
fans that feel about Lincoln Park and how dare you replace someone? I don't know what happened. You probably ran him over when you were in Dallas.
Don't put that evil on me.
Why not?
No, I think Chester might have committed suicide.
Chester?
I think that was his name.
Okay.
I think that was the name of. I could be wrong.
Oh, so he listened
obviously Andrew's
to the
a fan,
show and
so
heard
Andrew
you,
could,
and then went, "That's it. I'm out. Punch that clock."
Boy, he did stand up in 2002 on fucking Rogan's podcast. Apparently.
Oh, so successful?
No, you talking about because you're just like, oh, kill yourself.
I'm successful.
No, nobody here is successful.
You said they're dead.
Let's not get carried away.
You killed Chester.
Doesn't Scott go to Dallas, or am I thinking of another city?
I have gone a couple of times for pinball trips. Nothing in the recent times, but we're hoping to go back in the future, my brother and I.
Pinball trips. Do they have pinballs at Globe Life Field? That's a tough one. Globe Life.
To figure out if they have pinballs there or not?
Yeah. No, that's Globe. I don't know why that my brain struggles with Globe Life. Globe Life Field.
Yeah, because it's better when you say Global Force.
He did pass in that manner, unfortunately, and Chester was his name. Thank you, Andrea. There are some things I do know.
And it's questionable at best.
Anyways, we have just a week and a half away from Survivor Series War Games. We're recording this before we know the match, but I think we all know the match.
What WWE seems to think is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups of matches.
Right.
Oh, you got War Games in my Survivor Series.
But the thing is, that's not the case, because both of those items come together to create something new, and this is just War Games. It's just happening at Survivor Series, because Survivor Series is not, there's no part of it. It's not a Survivor Series. It's not even elimination.
Yeah, but the name is in there.
Oh, okay,
and it's on the date. So when they say it's Survivor Series War Games,
right,
then they still seem to acknowledge, like, yeah, it's Survivor Series. You got to see who survives in War Games.
Right.
So no, they didn't say it's WWE War Games.
But doesn't somebody survive in every kind of match? So it's like every kind of match is kind of a Survivor Series match.
They all take a toll, brother.
Andrew Biller apologized for sending us off track, and I am just writing that there's no apologies necessary, because that's the whole point of being the chat, is derailing us and making sure you are on the show.
And learning about Linkin Park and their current status of shows, and we're going to announce their tour dates later.
And trying to watch me struggle to spell the word necessary. As I wrote, no apologies necessary.
Shouldn't your computer help you with that?
Necessary.
Sure.
Necessary. So we're going to talk, we're going to say we haven't done in like 5 years. We used to do a series on the old patron bonus episodes where we would just book dream matches.
Yeah.
And there's really no rules to this.
As you said today when I showed up, like, I don't really want to do anything lazy.
Yeah, no.
But we haven't done dream matches in a long time.
Yeah. And the only rule is that there's a time machine and everybody's alive. Or vice versa, whichever one you want.
Right.
So you could just get whoever from whenever.
It's a dream.
It's a dream.
Sometimes we put parameters on it. Sometimes we'll say like, all right, this has to be something that could happen, but has never been.
Right.
Because we had that. I think we did that for a while. We did have some people that were, if we set those parameters
if hell froze over. One of my dream matches happened because one of the old episodes, I was like, oh, if CM Punk ever turned to wrestling, I think him and Darby Allin would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was when AEW first started. And I was like, oh, that would be fun.
Not really.
First started-ish. Yeah. It had to have been. Because why would I give two fucks about Darby Allin? I only watched it for 6 months.
Oh, I thought you said we're saying when the match happened.
No. When we recorded that dream match.
AEW Day 3, Darby Allin versus CM Punk. That's what I was like,
we recorded that around the time AEW started, but before it was any idea that Punk would ever return to wrestling as well. So
he wasn't answering our calls.
No,
he's like, learn about Chester.
In fairness, I don't think he gave us the right number because there was a woman that kept picking up the phone and asking us for an order.
That wasn't AJ?
No, that wasn't AJ. I think it was a Chinese food restaurant.
And AJ doesn't work at that restaurant?
That I don't know. But whoever picked up the phone, I don't think was AJ.
I just assume.
So yeah, I don't know. It's Survivor Series. Let's do traditional Survivor Series matches, 5-on-5.
Right. Because we're not doing war games. WWE's doing War Games right now.
And it's elimination.
It's elimination, 5-on-5.
All right.
Today we're gonna come up with one of us will come up with a men's.
No, I thought we were okay, go ahead. Continue.
And then collectively we'll come up with a women's.
Sure.
And the other one
okay
will come up with a men's.
Okay, great.
So we only talked about this several times before the show.
I'm gonna start because mine's not that creative.
Oh,
mine
nice.
is not. I have a feeling because you always
creative has nothing for anybody.
You always go like you always find stuff that's like really weird and unique, and mine just goes like, no, I think this would be actually kind of a badass match if we could pull people from their prime, right?
Yeah. So you don't want me to go with my all B team with Boogeyman?
No, that's exactly what I want.
Brothers and
that's exactly what I want, and that's what I'm banking on, which is why I'm doing this first.
Okay.
Okay. So we almost had a match at Mania. Okay.
Yes, Stanley, a match at Mania
that everybody hated, and we bullied WWE into changing it.
Oh,
and that was The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Right.
And while I think today, I don't want to. Well, maybe now, maybe do that. Roman is back, but at that point in time, nobody wanted to see that.
No, you want one tough cookie, Roman Reigns now.
Yeah, OT Cooks.
I can't ever not see OTC.
What about
and not think one tough cookie?
So what about him and Punk teaming up and then being OTCM? One tough cookie monster.
Oh shit! I'm all for that.
So I think Bloodline in its prime, in my opinion,
is it not
OG
currently?
Bloodline? No, with Heyman outside.
Well, yeah,
and you've got Roman as the head of the table. You've got his enforcer in Solo Sikoa. You've got the Usos, and you have honorary Us Sami Zayn. We've already seen them in a War Games, but not a traditional Survivor Series match.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we already have the connection between him and Rock. So I want
Sami Zayn and The Rock. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah. I think he's in that movie where they're like hunting for Santa Claus or some shit like that.
Red One.
Yeah.
You think Sammy's
Tim
the red
one? OTC is over the counter Roman Reigns.
That's good too.
Does that mean that Solo is prescription?
Yeah.
He's what the doctor ordered.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think we need to get in our time machine.
Okay.
And we need to go find when The Rock had the most adequate badass backup there was in the Nation of Domination. I think Prime Nation, Rock, D'Lo, Farouk, and did they call him Kama? What was Godfather in that? What was his name?
Kama Mustafa.
It was Kama. I want that lineup. Okay.
Okay.
Versus the Bloodline. But the problem is they've only got 4 people.
That's not true.
Who am I missing from that? Wasn't that the original? Did Mark Henry join after?
If you're saying Prime Nation and Domination.
Okay, I guess I'm not saying Prime. I'm saying like Prime meeting first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to distinguish is you're saying Prime and you're saying first, but they had another member later.
Yeah. But I'm not grabbing that later member.
But you have Rocky Maivia Die Rocky Die Rock in your Prime.
But that was when he
Nation.
Okay.
Owen Hart. Sure. That was in Nation of Domination.
I was going to get there. It was going to be.
Were you?
It was going to be Owen and Sammy as the add-ons. I was building to it, but you just went and jumped in. Yes, there we go.
No, because you were saying but there's 4.
And you need that 5th person, and that 5th person, much like with the Bloodline, there was this extra member who joined in after the fact, and I think that the two factions kind of mirror each other in some way through the generations.
Okay.
And I also kind of just want to see Sammy.
These groups just take on a sad white guy.
Exactly. I kind of want to just see Sammy and Owen as the 2 odd white guys. Both be really excited. The other one is on their respective team.
Right.
How'd you do it? I just made him laugh a lot. Yeah, me too.
Owen didn't really do that. He just had gripes.
I meant backstage. No, you don't think he was probably? They were probably thrilled that he was around, right? Isn't he like known as being one of the funniest dudes backstage?
But he's a prankster.
That's true.
I don't know what kind of jovial attitude a Kama Mustafa might have had. He's no Godfather yet.
No, he's no Godfather yet.
So if he's just too serious about the biz.
Yeah, I don't even know that the BSK exists yet. Probably does. Because Yoko was part of that.
The Clique. Once the Clique had existed, then that did.
Then they're like, well, we need a thing.
Yeah.
You guys, I want to get a t-shirt.
All right, white bikers, let's form up. Let's figure out what we can be.
White bikers, but also isn't it Rikishi, him and Kama and Yoko as well?
I think that's where it's like, oh yeah, well, we should let these guys in too, right? Okay.
They reverse nationed.
Hey, what you guys? One day, if we all get wives, what do you think? Tattoos on the neck? What do you think? All right, if I do it, everyone else is going to do it too, right?
Right. We're all going to go on Sunday.
Love of our lives.
And we'll see it at night at the pay-per-view.
We're going to go there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be first. Son of a bitch. Calls up Cody years later. Hey, man. If you want your brand to live on, you get it on your neck.
Get a neck tattoo.
Like in the center? Wherever. Just as long as everyone sees it. I'm not the only fucking one.
But just black, just black, right? So it's easy to cover up? No, full color.
Full color, bro. Red, white, and blue, brother.
Wasn't Sarah written in like a jagged Harry Potter looking font?
Yes, it was. That is a great way of putting it.
It looked like it had like lightning-y sort of. It looked like there's a name for that font. I can't think of what it's called right now.
Badass
wizards something or other. Anyways, it's Bloodline. It's Nation of Domination. Traditional through the ages Survivor Series match.
Question for you.
Okay.
A legit question. Because I can assume the captain of the Bloodline.
Right.
Is
Roman.
Who's the captain of the Nation of Domination? Because they struggled with leadership.
I know, but I feel like Rock became Rock. It was so clear at the forefront there that he was that guy. Even if maybe it was intended to be.
Are you saying in the beginning?
No. He was at the forefront, meaning physically. Like it was like very clearly.
He's the tallest.
He was the tallest. He had the highest height of eyebrow.
Right.
Race. It
was Farouk. Farouk was the guy.
But Rock not only stole his line and someone made it famous, but he also stole his position as leader of the nation.
Okay, so it's Rock that is the lead, the captain?
Is the captain of that team, that specific team. And it's Rock of that era. It's not like old guy Rock now with those guys all at their age now. It's them at that age, at that ability, at that physicality. I think that the two teams like really kind of mirror each other in an interesting way, with the exception of you've got more high flyers in the Bloodline and the Usos, and you've got just additional powerhouses in the Nation.
Well, D'Lo's not a high flyer, but he does.
Yes, he's the closest to the Usos style.
His frog splash, I think, far more impressive.
Oh, 100%.
Especially when he's got his he's heavy then.
Right, yeah.
He's quite heavy, and he's got his chest protector.
Didn't he drop it for the Nation? Was he still wearing it in the Nation?
I feel like at times he had it. So okay. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like when he takes the stunner from Austin, he's wearing it.
Right.
And it didn't protect you.
Right.
The stunner on top of a truck. That's
what are you gonna do?
It's the only place you are protected, but
right.
Kick wham to the gut.
Also,
and then stunner to the neck.
The stunner. Yeah, the stunner is at the end of the day isn't a jawbreaker really. So
and then it's knees on the hood of the truck. So it's like everything else was not protected.
No, not at all.
Not good foresight, D'Lo. But Owen, high flyer, and as much as he'd bust out here and there, and I'm just trying to think of anybody else. Yeah. All right. And then you got powerhouses.
Then you got powerhouses. So I feel like in this group, Solo and Kama are kind of like the acting enforcers of those groups, even though like Simmons is literally like Farouk is literally like this monster powerhouse dude.
Right.
I feel like Kama is sort of the quiet enforcer in that scenario. He's at that point in time. He's also younger
to say like, you go.
Yeah, exactly. So Farouk is sort of the odd man with no match. Farouk is going up against an Uso. If we were going to do it one by one and kind of find who they face, and I'm pairing white guys together.
Promotional poster.
exactly, for the poster when they're all in line. In the very back is just the two white guys.
Okay.
Just happen to be there.
Okay.
Both incredible technical wrestlers, those two guys. You've got, like you said, D'Lo with Jay, and Jimmy up against Farouk is just a good time.
Mm-hmm.
The question is how does it get booked? How does it play out? Because I feel like it comes down, or I don't think that Rock or Roman are eliminated if I'm booking this, and I want the fans to be happy, right?
Okay.
Meaning like until the end, like obviously one of them is going to be the surviving member of their team.
Right.
When I say surviving, the final member of their team.
Right. We won't go to the dark that you set up there. I understand.
I think that if we're booking this, it's kind of hard because if we've got this time machine,
yeah,
is the audience a Nation of Domination era audience, or are they a modern audience with both information?
Why the hell would you time travel an audience that pays less
right, yeah,
for wrestling tickets?
Of course. So with that said, I think that even though Nation is heels, I think the modern audience roots for them against the Bloodline.
Yeah, because that's a nostalgia act.
Yeah, exactly.
But also the Bloodline
Hall of Famers
that you're doing are the heels,
with
the exception of Sammy.
Yes, exactly. Well, at that time that was when the tweenerness kind of began, where
Yeah, but nobody's liking Solo.
No,
Roman's still like, boo,
and he's still cheating to win his title.
Mm-hmm. He's got red shoes on,
right? I think that maybe, Jimmy is the first one out.
Oh,
I think Jimmy is the first eliminated.
Okay.
And I think that gets the audience excited about what's to come, because I think they're already quite undersized just because of the amount of scale on the other side, on the Nation Domination side.
It's a beefier side.
It's a much more beefier side. I think
a few football players.
Yeah. I think Roman gets tagged in once or twice against Kama, maybe against Owen,
Mm-hmm.
but that it isn't for very long. He doesn't really want to be doing this work. He expects everybody else to do it. So I think he gets Solo in there at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Solo takes care of maybe Kama and Farouk.
Really?
Yeah, because think about the way they were booking Solo at that point in time, and the way that, like, I'm trying to keep the characters true to the way they were presented. Like,
okay,
I think that Solo does some damage as the enforcer, but then I think Owen, who is at this point in time, again, even though he's acting like a Nation Domination heel Owen, I think people are thrilled with Owen Hart being there.
Well, yeah, they're trying to go like, holy shit, we can't sign a Legends deal. Martha,
right.
They're trying to text her and get her like, look, it's okay. It's okay. He's here.
Yeah, I think Owen eliminates Solo Sikoa.
You don't think him and Sammy just go like, hey, you're pretty funny. Hey,
well, Sammy's still in it. Okay. I think the crowd gets real excited by this. Okay.
I think Solo gets a little trying to appease the tribal chief too much and gets his eye off the ball. And Owen's the wiliest of veterans amongst everybody.
Right. And I think that after Solo gets eliminated, main event Jay, eager to please, starts walking through the ropes.
But he's mid-card, Jay. Come on.
Yeah, sure. But he's eager to please, goes through the ropes, and Roman puts his hand on his chest and goes like, no. And he points at Sammy, who he still doesn't trust, by the way.
Oh.
And he says, Sammy, go out there and fight one of your heroes. And I think Sammy and Owen, they put on as good of a one-on-one match you can within the confines of a Survivor Series match.
This is what I would pitch to Sammy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be rejected by way too many people.
Yeah.
Because we time travel to a modern era.
Sure.
And it's like Owen Hart outclasses you in every moment. Everything that you got Owen then gets it up on you, and he knows every single trick, every single thing, and you think you outsmart him, and you don't.
Right.
And you're eventually, it's the back and forth, and then finally bested, and Sammy has to break away and go like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
He's too good.
Yeah. I think that the mutual respect that he had, or the mutual respect, the one way respect. Owen doesn't know who the fuck this guy is. Cut your hair. You don't look like a wrestler. What's this flag?
What year is this?
Hit the gym. Let's see. What year is this? I think that without realizing, because he, despite the fact that he loves the bloodline, doesn't always agree with their ways, they somehow cheat, or somebody gets involved, or Jay does something on low blows Owen or something like that, and forces, kind of says like, go ahead, win him, and then Sammy has to reluctantly pin Owen, and I think Sammy eliminates Owen.
Okay. I didn't know if the stakes were so high that Heyman's getting involved at some point.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. Like, yeah. Like Heyman's on the side. Maybe he tosses Jay something or hits him with.
Oh, I mean that Heyman has to go,
dirty?
Not necessarily dirty, but he has to go to the side of Nation of Domination and get that involved because the stakes are this high.
Right. I mean, maybe it's some underhanded tactic that occurs.
This is going to be trouble in the long run, though, when Future Rock goes, wait, I have new memories.
Right.
What the?
Right.
They totally fucked me over.
Right. And then I think D'Lo comes in, and fans love him, shaking his head. He's whipping ass. I think D'Lo takes care of Sammy, and then
here, I got one for you.
Go for it.
So this is what happens.
Yeah.
So Sammy prone, like D'Lo takes advantage.
Yeah.
Does his frog splash on a Sammy, gets the pin. 1, 2, 3, boom! Immediately, an Uso splash from the top rope onto D'Lo's back, which is not protected.
No, not at all.
And to the dismay of Sammy, who's
underneath,
sandwiched,
still. Right.
And Uso,
not sandwiched, crushed at the bottom.
He's the bottom Oreo piece.
Sure.
Gets annihilated, and Uso's not good either because he's done this. It's devastation to everybody, but D'Lo totally unexpecting it, rolls on his back, completely prone. A follow up 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely, 2 quick eliminations. And now it is 2-on-1.
2-on-1, but it's kind of 1.5.
Well,
because he's fucked up.
The Rock comes in, and he brings Jay over to Roman to make him tag for Roman, because he goes, "You're a child still. I don't like this. This is weird. And you look a lot like me, and it's strange."
And Jay's going like, "Can I tag out?" And Roman's going like, "All right."
Yeah. Roman comes in. They clash. Roman maybe gets saved after a people's elbow by a quick cheap tag somehow from Jay, who comes in, eats a rock bottom, gets eliminated by the Rock. Rock turns around. That was just enough time for Roman to come to his feet. Spear Rock. Roman is the last man standing.
No cheating. Rock
bloodline wins.
Rock loses via Roman
on the Jay distraction. Jay sacrifices himself.
I'm surprised that time machine wasn't left on and something else happened, because that era Rock, I can see Stone Cold coming down the ramp and just giving him a stutter.
Yeah. Oh, that happens at the end anyway. Yeah. I think Bloodline gets put over. At the end of the day, I do think they're a better faction as far as, the sum of their parts. Not that D'Lo and Farouk or Kama are slouches by any means. They're all fucking icons. But I think when it comes to the team aspect of it,
cohesiveness,
and the willingness to throw their life on the sword.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And
then they all go.
Who's had more Thanksgivings than the Bloodline? Not the Nation of Domination. They've had like a couple.
I don't think they celebrate Thanksgiving in Samoa.
Yeah, but they're not from there.
Okay, that's fair. They're from Pensacola.
Yeah.
There's my Survivor Series match between the Bloodline, and the Nation
Okay.
with their collective white guys.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's how I would book it.
Okay.
And I think the fans would be pissed, but also that was life with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
With Roman at the top.
And it's hard to deny that that's
Pretty good book.
the Bloodline is the better team.
Yeah.
But only Roman.
And then
Roman is the sole survivor.
Yes, that's it. It came down to 1-on-1 and Roman survived.
Okay.
But he also didn't wrestle a ton in the match either. He was pretty,
Sure.
But what happens
Heyman
there?
sweat more than Roman did.
Right. But you are correct because the glass did break and Austin started walking out of the ring, but then the lights all went out and then Modern Rock came out and was like, what the fuck is happening? And
Oh,
it was
no.
Yeah, it was really strange. It was all very odd. It was hard. Time machines are really tough.
They're real tough.
Time travel movies, they don't make any sense.
But they do.
I mean, no, they don't. Because like literally, if you went back in time to this specific point, the Earth wouldn't be in that same spot unless it was the exact same spot in the universe. So you would just be in the middle of space and just die immediately.
Whatever. You're the one sitting there watching Back to the Future going like, oh, come on, Marty. Your mom looks pretty good. Like
yeah,
you wouldn't.
What's the big deal?
Like you wouldn't.
What's the big deal?
Come on, you're in the car. So what a segue. Next up, we have a women's match.
Oh, if Tamina's not involved, we're really missing out.
Better
here.
change this then.
No. All right.
A 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match.
Okay.
Which
You're gonna
is
pick
so
your
dumb
team
that
first.
they've gone away from Survivor Series so many times that they have to always say a traditional 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Because they don't say the traditional Royal Rumble 30 person
Right.
match, even though we did 40 one time and it started as 20. It's traditional
In
30.
fairness, in AEW, they should start saying a traditional tag match.
They don't know what that is.
It's a good point.
And at this point, WWE,
They've never had one.
It's like, well, this is also no disqualifications. Like, oh
It's like,
my
why?
God.
When was that announced?
Everything, constantly. So I got a team ready to go.
All right.
Are you ready?
I
for
don't
my
have
team?
any teams. I don't have any idea. I'm just gonna try to put. I'm just gonna try
You're
to
gonna counter my.
I'm gonna try to counter you with best I can.
All right. This is a strong team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The time travel machine is set to strong.
I didn't realize that was a setting. Does that mean that just it's very effective at time travel though?
That's right.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
With extra cup holders.
Oh.
So, team captain, China.
I mean, okay. Right off the bat. I mean, that's one of the greatest of all time as far as having presence.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She for every team member that
bought
China
a
has,
present. Yeah.
she bought him presents. She's so good at it. It's not like a gift card. No, she knows them and got them personalized things that they need. Not just need, they want, but they need it. So it's
That's
good.
fair.
Her second, Jade Cargill.
All right. I think I see where we're going with this. You really did set it to strong.
Follow up, Beth Phoenix.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Next up, Jazz.
Oh my God. This is just like the most powerhouse women of all powerhouse women.
And the final member, Camille. That you may recall
Camille
from
from NWA.
yes, who's now in AEW and hopefully not drowning.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We're
Okay,
talking
so
dream
you got
matchup, man.
All right.
I don't fuck around with dreams.
All right. I mean, I think you've only given me one option here, and that is to do the best I can to equal this lineup. Because I could be like, great, you're doing all
Casey
powerhouses.
Catanzaro.
Yeah, I'm doing exactly. I could do all
Little squirrels.
little squirrels, all like undersized, speedy, technical people. I could do like AJ and that group, Sasha, but I think I'm gonna try to go pound for pound with you.
Oh.
So you did. I got to think of everybody you took, everybody you stole from me.
Yeah.
So
You relinquish control?
I mean, if you're doing China,
Well,
then I got to go Bass, right? She's got to be. No, I'm joking. I couldn't even come up with her first name. I literally don't
Nicole.
remember it. There we go. Thank you. I mean, I got to go Rhea as captain on the other side,
all right.
right? I'm trying to think of like equal powerhouses that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is I'm forgetting people's names. So you did China, you did Jazz, you did say those
China,
again.
Jade Cargill,
Jade Cargill,
Beth Phoenix,
Phoenix.
Jazz, and Camille.
Okay. here's the thing. China was never that great of a wrestler either. So I think this is.
Oh, now he's shooting shots. This is from Jericho, who's doing his best work these days.
I'm going Caitlyn.
Okay.
Okay. She was fit as shit. She looked like a fighter, proper fighter.
Not the word I do compare fit with, but fair enough.
And then, I mean, the problem, I'm worried that all mine are just going to be from the same era. You did a good job of going through time.
I did.
But I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that because there were, let's be honest, there weren't as many, like women weren't given a shot, so they didn't have as many.
Women didn't have weights then.
They didn't have weights back then. There are some obvious ones that I'm trying to veer away from. Like, I'm trying to not put in Bianca in there with
a man.
I'm trying to not put in Bianca there with her partner. I'm trying to spread the wealth here.
I can't help.
What is her name? I think she's
Stephanie
in
McMahon.
Impact. I think she's in Impact
currently.
She's
or was.
I think she showed up in WWE for like an NXT event or something recently. She's also really jacked. She actually got really trim. She used to be bigger.
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace. Going with Jordan Grace as my number 3.
Okay. Do you kept track of who you have so far?
I've already forgotten. No, I have Rhea. I have Caitlyn and Jordan Grace. Okay. I don't know that I'm going to have the star power. I think you went with star power. And I think mine is going to be...
Jazz and Camille aren't...
Camille is probably Jazz I think was... Yeah, no, you're right.
She didn't have a shining real moment. Like
She didn't have a shining wizard. No, that was Tegan Knox.
No, that's chokeslam. She didn't break out. I think those wrestling nerds and fans saw it.
Right.
But she wasn't a super duper star.
Okay.
Oh, the chat's trying to help you out here. Chat's throwing you some bones.
Oh, shit.
What are they saying? Let us know the names and
Bertha Faye. So they said Charlotte. So Mike Lucas says Charlotte and Bianca, which that's what I thought too. But I think I want to. Also, when I think Charlotte, she is like athletic, but you went like powerhouse, and I don't consider Charlotte a powerhouse. And Bianca is also super athletic, but when she's standing next to Jade, she doesn't look that way. She looks like the small one.
Yeah,
and
she's the smallest.
Yeah, you went Jade. Then Tim said Jake should have went small. But it would have been a lot easier, I'll tell you that much. But Mike Lucas says Bertha Faye. And we put Bertha Faye in a watch along once.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna not go Bertha Faye because I think I'm gonna go fairly new WWE Hall of Famer. And her name is now escaping me. We watched her with the Lunger Blaze.
Donald Trump.
With the hair. No.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
God damn it. I fucking hate you so much. Going Bull Nakano. Bull Nakano.
Okay.
Now, in fairness, her hair did a lot of the size for her.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But
you had to look out for those varicose veins.
But I'm just trying to spread a little bit of the wealth here as far as time, because I don't think anybody else is going to be old.
Okay.
I have one other person that I got to come up with, but I have to Google. I have to remind myself.
I've left many on the table.
Yeah, I have
and
one
I'm not
person,
helping you.
And I think people are going to be like, "What? Really? She got let go like immediately?" But I need to find an
NXT darling.
It would have been NXT darling. I got to remember the name because
Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Oh no, they don't show the whole
3
fucking
members,
thing.
Jake.
Did they really not show me the entire brackets? Come on, show me the brackets of the fucking Mae Young Classic.
He's on his phone right now. He could be looking at pornography. Brackets could mean something else. I don't really know.
Give me the participants. There we go.
What's crazy is you'd also figured out the browser situation, so you could have shared it.
Oh yeah, I could have done that. Sorry,
you're doing your phone.
Yeah, but then I'd be giving away who I was looking for. Eventually, I'd find it. Jazzy Gabbert. Don't know where she is.
What the fuck is that?
Giving her back a contract. Okay, now we're gonna do it. If you don't remember,
Jazzy Gabbert.
Let's see here.
Isn't that an old timey remedy for rickets? Well, you just got to get the Jazzy Gabbert, and you'll be fine. You'll be singing like a loon.
Jazzy Gabbert. This was Jazzy Gabbert. Do you recognize her?
Oh, she was
huge.
Masa Slamovich, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
You have the internet in front of you.
Sure.
Let me know.
Alpha Female is the other name
okay.
that they go by.
Jazzy Gabbert.
I'm going with Jazzy Gabbert because
That's such a Bruce
my
Pritchard
version.
Stupid fucking name.
Oh yeah, that's
Shorty G and Jazzy Gabbert.
I mean, Gabbert is at least heard in that last name, but
is it?
Yeah, it seems like she only went by Alpha Female, Jazzy B, and Jazzy Gabbert.
Okay, so Alpha Female. I've definitely seen her before.
Yeah, big German woman who's just an absolute monster. Fits in well. I think
she goes to AEW. She'll be known as Jizzy Gobert.
All right. And then I think my last person
is that not 5?
No, I think that was 4. I did Rhea, Leader, Caitlyn, Nakana, Jazzy. Nakano.
I thought you had one other one in between.
No, I said I wasn't going to go.
Nakano.
We talked about all the other people. No, because we were talking about Bertha, and I swapped Bertha out for Bull.
Okay.
And then I think
keep them honest, Chad.
I actually think based on what went here, yeah, I thanks to Tim Redbeard's suggestion, Karma, aka that's how they wrote Karma. Awesome Kong.
Okay. I was really thinking you weren't going to pick that one up.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best. I mean, there's a lot of other women out there who are like in this category. You've got like the Raquel, she's in there, and there's some other folks. I know there's that other.
Sure, but you don't want it to be clunky.
Yeah, and there's like the Shayna Baszler's group. But yeah, I think that this is. I also was trying to pull from different eras like you did, because I do think that the other answer is just everybody right now. So I think that's the lineup.
Okay. You did pretty well for a scramble.
Oh shit, I did forget. You're right. Mike Lucas says I'm disqualified. I picked 6 people. Jordan Grace was who I picked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so I got to trade somebody
else.
No. All right. Yeah. Awesome's
out.
Awesome's out.
You ended with your Jazzy Gabbert.
That's fine. I went with Jazzy over Awesome because you know what? I still want to look to the future. I don't think she retired. I don't think she wrestles anymore.
Okay.
But neither does Awesome Kong.
Right. Okay.
And now let me ask you this. This is like Time Machine. Everybody's just when you want them to be. Is this because you have some people who wrestled for a long time? Is this coming out with Edge at a recent WrestleMania, Beth Phoenix? Or is this
like the
Santina?
super cool hair?
Yeah. This?
No, because then people confuse with Bull Nakano.
Exactly.
So this is Pete Glamazon.
Okay. Santino.
Phoenix. Yeah, but he's left in the back because everyone's worried that, oh no, he's going to go into the ring, get the sash, and then he's going to be Santina.
And is this, which China? Is this like, I know this wasn't that long,
post
but
Playboy.
Okay.
Like right at the Playboy celebration in China, peak popularity.
God, it was such a weird thing that all happened. It was so strange.
What?
The fact that I was like barely legal myself and we went to a SmackDown taping or something like that. And it was just like a bunch of people with Playboys rushing the stage to try to have her sign nude pictures of herself. This is a weird time to be a teenager in America. And it was just like, and people's moms were like, go get your autograph. It's just very strange.
It's a periodical.
Jake accompanies my team dressed as Harvey Whippleman, is what Tim says.
That's
rude and a good idea.
So, yes, it would be Jade now.
Right.
China, the Playboy release.
Okay.
Peak Glamazon, Beth Phoenix.
Right.
Jazz
and Jazzy. We got Jazz and Jazzy going in our
Jazz. I think I go WrestleMania. What is it? 19? WrestleMania 19. Jazz.
Okay. Is that when she was in the title picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Camille now.
Okay. I haven't seen Camille in AW. I haven't
either, but I'm just assuming she's good and we just rescued her.
Okay. I feel like her and Jazzy are the same, where it's like, it looks like the total package is there, but can you talk? Can you wrestle? We're not so sure.
No, I mean, they kept her from talking.
Yeah.
In NWA.
Yeah.
And I think she's Mercedes Monet's heavy. So that's 2 people that can't talk. So yeah, we got 5-on-5.
Right.
Ladies for Slays. And Awesome Kong. They keep cutting to her backstage as she's looking at the monitor going, what the fuck?
I booked it. And who's this Jazzy person you brought in instead?
What the fuck? Jazzy Gilbert. Is she getting eliminated first? Is that why I'm not on here?
And behind her, Jessamine Duke is like, I could have sworn they said my name.
No one did.
No, we didn't say, go get out of here, Kid Rock.
I was going to make a giraffe joke. Yeah. So I think in the ring for this one, you have everyone do your promotional poster where they all like line up, and
you want me to do the poster?
The referees is like,
I'll do the poster.
Don't do it. You like, we got to keep order, and they're wanting to fight. And there's a lot of shoving and like,
right.
But the referee,
all right.
maintain.
Well, obviously China and Rhea are at the front, right?
China gives her a little chest bump. Rhea's like, oh,
and then behind them, Beth and Jordan. Okay. And then Jazz and Jazzy. Because I think that's the biggest height disparage, because Jazzy's really tall.
Yeah. That is weird. We've stumbled into an AEW problem here.
Right.
You're not calling her alpha female on this? You're going with Jazzy Gabbert?
Yeah, this is Jazzy Gabbert from the Mae Young Classic. Okay. I'm thinking of this moment in time.
Okay.
Because she also presented really well during that. Like, she looked good, and whoever they had fighting, I know, was trying to hide some of her shortcomings as a wrestler, but
I want to let everybody know, listening and in the chat, this is not always so much about dream matches. This is to help Jake's memory.
Yeah, no, it's very helpful. It's appreciative.
These are what you do with old people.
By the way, I still have up the entire competitors from the first Mae Young Classic, and I'm just like, who the fuck are any of these people? But then it's also like, oh, me again. Okay, so who do we have left there?
You did threes. So there's Jade and Camille left on my side.
Jade and Camille, and on my side, I'm gonna go Jade and Bull and Lacana, just because I think that's interesting.
Okay.
I like the juxtaposition. Jade has her white hair, and they're both like very striking images.
Mm-hmm.
And then whoever's left.
That's what I'm starting to write yours down now.
Camille and fucking whoever I picked.
Jesus Christ.
I usually write stuff down. Yes, Camille and Caitlin.
Caitlin. That's a money name.
God, Caitlin's the best. I love her. And this is, by the way, Caitlin. I'm actually going to go, even though I love the bi-colored hair, hot, obsessed with AJ Caitlin, I'm going to go with also Mae Young Classic. When she came back and she returned, and she was healthy, fit, and had like a good mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm just trying to remember your fifth.
Wait, wasn't that was it?
Yeah, I know, but I'm writing them down so that way we don't keep stumbling.
Who do you got? Who do you have?
Rhea Ripley, Kaylin, Jazzy Gabber, Jordan Grace.
And Bull Nakano.
Okay. My team wins, your team loses.
I mean, you book it, so sure, that's fair.
No, we'll do a book, because how could that not work? I mean, do you want to go through beat by beat, blow by blow?
No, we could just think about who eliminates who. We just do the eliminations.
It feels like your team is the underdog team, and that's the story we tell, right?
Yeah, like, because it's like we have a one W Hall of Famer, which now makes me wish that I would. Oh wait, no, never mind. She's also Hall of Famer. I was gonna say, now I wish we would have gone with non Hall of Famers, because you have quite a few Hall of Famers.
2.
Don't you have 3? Isn't Jazz a Hall of Famer now?
I
think Jazz went in.
Did she?
I believe Jazz went in.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that, if that's the case. Unless she's one of those like, yeah, we did these separately off air.
I think you have Jazz, Beth, and China. Oh, China's only in as a part of DX.
Yeah.
But that still counts.
And so's Jazz, really. It was kind of weird. It was the Sean Waltman rule, where it's like, keep throwing him in.
They literally just gave rings to like half of the Attitude Era, and were like, DX is here.
I'm gonna try and see if she's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I was gonna do that, but you can do that too if you like.
You had an hour to do it, and you didn't. Championships and accomplishments. Cauliflower Alley Club? No, she's not.
She's not?
No.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
Doesn't surprise me.
Don't have to do that.
It's shameful. So I think early on we're getting some demolishings here, that we get Caitlyn going out first. Like, Caitlyn's trying to be nice and being a good sport. Like, she's clearly the nicest of the bunch.
Yeah.
And Rhea's been trying to coach. They're like, no, tear their heads off. Like,
Yeah.
get in there and do that. And
I mean, I don't know. Is she that nice? I think she's got a little bit of an edge.
2 bookers.
Okay.
No, she doesn't.
All
That's
right.
what Beth
That's fair.
Phoenix has.
Okay. All right. So who eliminates her?
He didn't get that one.
No, I got it.
And
So she really likes you too.
Everybody does. Just put songs on people's devices. Jazz does.
Jazz eliminates.
Because she's fierce and she's just not having it.
And did they start the match, or were there a few tags and we got a couple matches?
Yeah, we got a few tags.
Yeah, okay.
And then Caitlyn was brought in.
Right.
And it's like, I need you to be fucking fierce. I need you to be this. Like,
she tried to shake her. She tried to shake her hand.
She's trying to do things like, this is not Ring of Honor.
Right.
And then up next we got Jazzy Gabbert trying to pick up the pieces, but then there's some double teams. There's some cheating going on because I think you guys are ultimately with Rhea. Like, Rhea's the most beloved of everybody. Like, my team, it's, oh yeah, they're cool and impressive Hall of Famers, but nobody's fucking happier than Rhea being out there. So then Jazzy Gabbert gets double teamed and taken out by.
So all right, so you're going Jazzy out already. I thought she was going to be
Jade Cargill.
My thought process was that she was going to be the surprise, shocking monster of the team who was going to last like longer than everybody expected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of saw her as like second to last out.
Really? When you got
Personally.
Bull Nakano?
Yeah, because I thought that was Bull Nakano. She's crazy.
Yeah, but crazy good.
And Jazzy also barely speaks English, so maybe that's it.
But
that's fair. No, that's fair. I'll accept it. And it took 2. Like, it showed how scary she was. It took 2. She didn't eliminate anybody though. And that I'm surprised about.
Yeah, she didn't eliminate anybody. Again, you're the underdog story.
No, yeah, 100%.
And then Jordan trying to hang too, but Jordan gets in there, is getting tossed around for some people. She gets close to eliminating Camille.
Okay.
Real close a couple times, and then they get her out of there. China comes in for the first time.
Okay.
And she's outmatched, and the story is like, clearly a hero to Jordan.
She tried to do like an overhead press with China, but she just couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it.
Just too big and strong.
China just fucking pedigrees her.
Oh, all right.
And she's out.
Okay. All right.
And then so it's China calling in, and it's Bull Nakano ready to step in, and Rhea's fired up and goes like, no. And then they just start exchanging and going and like punch, and going high speed, crazy. And China bails. She gets out of there. I was like, no, I don't like it. No. And then the ref was like, you got to fucking tag somebody.
Right.
And she's like, not having it. Rhea's fired up and then starts chasing her around the ring.
Oh, all right.
And then China gets back in the ring fast enough to tag someone, gets out.
Right.
And then that is.
Yeah, who's the tag?
That's Jazz. And so Jazz is ready, but like.
Already has an elimination.
But that's the thing is, Rhea's already got stored finishers.
Right. Yeah.
And is yelling at the rest of the team, like knocks her out enough. It's not a Roman Reigns. I'm telling a whole story here.
Right, sure.
She fucks her up a bit. And then as she's doing I forget what her
Riptide?
The Riptide, she's talking shit. And like, which one is next? Goosh. And then she's staring at them all so they don't run in to interfere with the pinfall.
Right.
And it's like we can take an L. It's okay. Jazz is out.
Oh, all right.
And she's going like, who's next? And they're all looking like,
I don't want to go in.
I don't really want in right now. And then
even though they're all monsters, they're a little scared.
They're all monsters because Rhea's fucking psychotic and Bull's psychotic too. And then
those two, that is a great pair.
And then Camille's like, I'll step in. And then it's a little bit back and forth, but then taking her to the corner. That now we got Bull in. And
by the way, when Camille steps in, the audience goes, "You fucked up. You fucked up."
That's right.
You fucked up because she's so overconfident in her abilities. Camille, she's a physical presence, but
But Bull distracts by going like, Brady, tag me. And what? She looks away, and then but there's some back and forth. She brings in Bull Nakano. Bull Nakano then takes advantage, and then like gets crazy too. Eliminates Camille.
Okay. All right.
Oh shit. All right. Oh, it's 3-on-2.
Right,
We're
yeah.
okay. We're good. And they try and bum rush Bull, but we go through this again. And at this point, then Beth Phoenix gets the L.
Oh, gets the L.
So then we're down to 2-on-2.
Oh, interesting. This is a fun duo.
So we got Jade Cargill and China versus Rhea Ripley and Bull Nakano.
I'm not gonna lie. When we started this, I thought there's no chance I'm winning, but now that you've brought it down to these two tag teams, I do sort of feel like I have workers and you have spectacles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that depends on what kind of booker you are, whether or not.
Yeah. Well, I know what the crowd wants. And so in this one, save some time here. Ultimately, it's China that falls next.
Oh, shit. That's shocking. The fans are
Rhea
shocked.
Ripley, but this is from, again, she's trying to get away from Rhea, and they're fighting on the outside, and the ref is counting to 10, and Rhea sees it and runs back inside, and China sees it. It's like 8.5, and China's debating and like 9, and then just stands there.
Oh.
Doesn't go in. Doesn't get beat.
Right.
Doesn't take the L, but does it like no, I'm done. And then Jade Cargill's going like, what the hell? Like, what is this?
Right.
And then the announcement like, China has been eliminated.
And everybody's going, oh.
And they're looking at Jade, and Jade's now
and Rhea's laughing.
Bull's crazy, and they're just fired up. And Jade's like, and asking China, like, you gonna stay? And then she's like, nope. She's walking away. And it's a whole like, what are you doing? Then they get her. They do all the stuff. Rhea takes her out. Boom. 2 survivors. Bull Nakano. Rhea Ripley.
I'm not angry at it. Tim Redburn in the chat says Hulk Hogan is already taking credit for booking this match on Truth Social, he says.
Good for him figuring out the internet.
That, you know what? That's a good book. I like that.
All right.
Well booked. I was a little bit upset that Jazzy went out so quick, but you know what? I like how you ended it because you're right. The two of them running roughshod on the other team makes sense.
There's a lot of audible people
Yep.
when she comes out and they hear it. It gets played on Botchamania like crazy. People going, Jazzy Gabbert? Did I get that right?
Well, there you have it.
They're the ladies.
They're the ladies. All right. So we have one more match what are you fantasizing about a men's dream match?
We double dipped today. We did not discuss. None of this was discussed beforehand of who our members would be or any timelines or any of that stuff. We went in cold.
Yes.
We double dipped.
We went in stone cold.
We double dipped the chip today.
Oh, who else? Why? Who are you are you putting in the Bloodline or Nation Domination? In yours?
I have a team of the Hart Foundation.
Oh shit! Well, you know what? If we're gonna double dip, Owen is allowed to double dip any day of the week, baby.
Owen is totally allowed.
Plus, it's a completely different Owen.
Yep, this is 1997.
Completely different Owen.
He's got
This is the anti-American.
He's got a
pro
good
Canada Hart Foundation
haircut.
Is this like
Pullman? This is best haircut in my opinion.
I'm trying to remember what it looked like.
Spiky.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
1997 Hart Foundation. Like everyone's looking great. You've got Bret Hart, this is the Canada loves them.
Right.
America hates them.
Yes.
That's this Hart Foundation. So Bulldog's looking fucking slick. Bret's looking slick. Brian Pillman's looking slick.
What?
Neidhart's looking. What
was that?
What did you pull up?
It auto searched for what was discovered in 1997 because I wrote Hart Foundation 1997.
Why was that lady discovered in 1997?
Why is it automatically deleted? That was strange shit. All right, so yeah, it's this group right here.
That's the crew.
Oh, I mean, come on.
I mean, fanny packs too. They don't give a fuck. They got them.
Fanny packs too. Yeah, I mean, I'm not angry at that.
Yeah, this is a slick looking group. They're at, I think it's maybe with the exception of Neidhart, they're at peak performance. Like all 5 members.
Yeah. Neidhart maybe is
maybe I got Bulldog's hair. Bulldog's rocking the spiky
the buzz
hair.
cut. Yeah.
Owen's got so many brutal haircuts in my opinion. I was just trying to think of better ones for him. But like, yeah, Brett is as sleek as possible. Like he's just looking cool. He's great on the mic, everything. And then the other team that they are fighting is the Wyatt family.
Oh, I almost pulled from this, but which members? Because you need 5.
OG, we're going Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan.
Okay. Oh, I hope that you're going where I was gonna go and didn't.
Yeah, that I cloned Braun Strowman, and then we got our 2 other members, but they share one sheep mask. No. The other two members are the Briscoes, Mark and Jay.
Oh, all right. I thought you were going to go Orton and Daniel Bryan. Two people who were at one point both in the Wyatt family in some way.
See.
Because I was also
Bryan's in the jumper.
I was originally going to do on my side. I was going to do Nation Domination versus the Wyatt family with Bryan. Because I wanted to see Bryan versus Hart, and then I realized, oh no, I want to see Sammy versus Hart, and that's why I changed. But I like this. I like this a lot because you're putting two characters who are sort of, it's not too far fetched.
There's parallels, between them that you can draw. It's not the same. You don't go, well, they're all Southern and crazy,
right? No,
there's a bit of you don't know if they're Wyatt family members, the Briscoes.
Right.
They are their own unit, but they can align with the Wyatts and they fight crazy. They're fighters, right? Like these are all brawlers and fighters. And then the other looming thing amongst all this, there is something at play where
who's hanging from a shark cage?
Just you. Because they couldn't get seats for you. They're like, here, this is what we got.
It's a great shot, great view.
Brian Pillman is kind of in question.
In question?
Yeah.
Might not show up.
No.
Because he tried to murder.
The Wyatts have been talking to him and he's been watching their vignettes.
Oh.
And he's been talking with the Briscoes like that people are wondering like, hey man, we know you're fucking crazy, but you're with us, right? Like there's no problem. Like, of course I'm with you. And everything is still just like, yeah, but what's Pillman going to do in this match?
Okay. So let me ask you this question. You're saying original Wyatt family.
Mm-hmm.
What? Because they were around
super sweaty Luke Harper.
They were around for a while before they brought in Strowman.
Yep.
And it started real Cape Fear. It started very like Louisianan backwoods. But then even before they brought in Strowman, it started to dip into the like dark occult stuff.
Yeah, we're going like WrestleMania 30 Bray with the two guys.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. So that I think
Harper's got the jeans and
right.
and the tank top that's all sweaty and wet.
Right.
And then Rowan's just rocking the big stuff. But they've got the mask, they've got the lantern, they've got all those things.
So they're a little bit they're nice and formed.
It's far more
Fireflies
Cape Fear.
are out. Yeah, Cape Fear. Yeah. Hawaiian shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Comic book guy, alternate costume.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I respect this. And
the Briscoes, I would say, the most recent iteration of the Briscoes, like when we're doing the
champs,
doing the tag team match of the year,
right?
With FTR,
right?
Just like they probably the peak of them. I don't know because I don't have that well-versed history of all of them,
right?
But they were just fucking killing it,
right?
So that's what I'd say for them. And this is the matchup.
Okay. So right off of the bat, to me, this feels like, despite the fact that you have a question mark in Pillman, you have a literal family who has been wrestling with each other since they were children.
Which Pillman is not.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But this is outside, right? And then you have two people who will do anything to protect a third, and then two
a come together family.
Sure. Yes, a come together family, adopted family, but also two different separate units. You've got Briscoes who know each other perfect and who are also family. Yeah. So I guess it's a matter of whether or not, if I'm a fan of watching this, am I thinking, I don't know whether the Wyatts and the Briscoes are going to be able to work together, because I don't know whether or not, because here's the thing, is that if Bray told Luke to smack Rowan, he would do it.
Mm-hmm.
If Bray told one of the Briscoes to smack the other, I specifically chose Luke and Rowan because we saw it happen quite a few times.
Yeah. But Mark and Jay.
But I don't know who would be the Rowan in that situation. So I don't know whether it would be asking Mark or asking Jay to smack the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I don't know that he would succeed in that. So is it a matter of too many cooks on one side? Whereas I think ultimately everybody's looking at Brett on the other side. And everybody's going, sure thing, boss.
They could be.
So how do you see this going?
With winners and losers.
Yeah, you're gonna leave it open ended?
No.
Okay, I'm fine with that. We're over time anyway. We can let the audience decide.
I mean, yeah, I'd love to hear. Does anybody like these? Would they have their own? Always call the hotline 747-666-5606. We'd love to hear your Survivor Series dream matches. What you have. You have 3 minutes, so you can't do full bookings.
Mike Lucas in the chat says Wyatt 6 versus Right to Censor. That would be very fun. I was thinking about Right to Censor when we started this. I was like, oh, what can I do with them? But I do like the idea of Wyatt 6 with Right to Censor because you have the ladies as well, which is fun. Is a nice matchup.
But would they feel a need to censor them?
They would probably think that they were too violent for television.
Oh, they did almost.
They did murder people.
Chad Cable. I think this is all full on drag out. It's technical. It's a fight. It's all kinds of things, and
it's a little chaotic. But
I think you do get some DQs.
Oh yeah,
and a count out or two. This is a overall kind of old school where you're saving a lot of the, like what we did with China and the other one, where you're saving they didn't get beat.
Right.
They got beaten.
Right.
But they didn't get beat.
Right. I also, just for the cheap pop, the lantern, when they came out, had like a little American flag wrapped around it, and they were just like, fuck Canada. And I was like, come on, really? We're doing this?
You're doing all your taker, like, there's an American flag in your robe.
Oh,
like,
in the coat.
Oh, gross. I think what you end up with in your final sort of pairings here is Bray and the Briscoes. Both Eric and Luke have been eliminated.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So then you're really wondering.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
What do we do now? Is everybody leading themselves? Is Bray trying to lead them? And then you've got Pillman and Brett.
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
So it's just all question marks and all like, what the hell's going on?
I'd watch the shit out of that.
And Brett's just looking at him going like, Brett doesn't do a lot of storytelling. Like, what are we doing? What's going on here? But it's quick little looks of like, okay. There's just trust.
Right.
There's just trust. Like others question more, like Bulldog and Anvil were laying it on him, but Brett's just like, nope.
Let me ask you this. Did Pillman bring his gun?
As you know, with time travel, you come through the time travel machine naked. You can't transport metals or anything else a la Terminator.
Right. Yeah. They had to go to the WWE like headquarters, the archive place, to try to find their old gear. I think we leave it there. Let the audience decide. I like that. That's fun. That was a blast. Before we go to take a hotline call or two, we should acknowledge current PWP champ AJ0314, aka Binary. AJ will defend that title next month in December. And then then some changes might be coming. Listen, it's time to grow. It's time to evolve. And so that's a little teaser. You guys got to stay tuned because there's going to be some changes happening. All great stuff, I assure you.
And we can tease this as well that for the holidays, we're planning on doing a special event again.
Yes, a couple years ago, we tested the waters, and we're diving back in.
Mm-hmm. Because we've got a home base again.
Yeah.
You've got an amazing setup and it's being refined all the time. And so we're going to do something super fun for the holidays to try and get everybody
a lot of
involved.
good stuff coming down the pike. Please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/PW Palskis. We are going to go take a hotline call. Thanks for everybody who joined us. Scott and Arver, say goodbye to the live stream.
Bye, live stream.
747-666-5606. That's the number of the Pro Wrestling Palskis hotline. Scott and Arver, you want to see what the hotline has in store for us today?
Sure do.
Hey there, Palskis. It is Mask Llama, a.k.a. Spitz of Retribution, and I am just calling. War Games is probably coming up. I don't think they've officially announced it yet, but I'm sure they will soon. War Games is coming up. What are your guys' thoughts on the War Games match? I'm going to be kind of honest. It's not a thing I really enjoy. Like, I'm there for the spectacle, sure, but I don't like a wrestling match where it can't end until a certain amount of time passes. Like, back in the day when wrestling was more realistic, it works. It's like, oh, these guys will get beat down and that will affect them later. But now, I mean, I sound so old. That's fine. I'm in my early 40s. You know, it's just like these guys are going to get beat down and then it's just not going to matter. And it just doesn't feel interesting until after everything hits. And sure, there'll be some cool moves in the meantime, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's not for me. It's for a lot of people. It's not for me. Hey, but that's just my thoughts. What are yours? What are your thoughts on it? Later, y'all. Bye.
Mass Llama, aka Spitz. War Games. WWE has replaced Survivor Series, our beloved Survivor Series, with War Games.
Yeah.
I know your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you share them with the class?
I'll be brief.
Sure.
I love Survivor Series. I love that it's its own thing. I don't feel like it needed to go away. I welcome them to do War Games. I don't like that one thing goes away and they still say it's Survivor Series, but there's War Games instead.
Right.
I'd love a separation or just replace. Just have it be WWE War Games. Don't fucking tell me it's one thing and another. War Games, I've only recently watched the original couple of matches, and it is not the same thing as what we were presented with now. So to Mass Llama's point, the urgency was there, in which if it's, say, 25 minutes where there can't be a winner yet, it's all about advantages and back and forth and fighting.
Right.
It's all about fucking the other team up as much as possible. Because then at the end, when it can't happen, it's immediate.
Right.
And it's sudden, and it's not an additional 30 minutes of, okay, now the match begins. That's what Blood and Guts did as well in AEW. And I didn't really understand it until I heard it broken down and then watched it and went, oh, this is what works. Because then everything then mattered, not just a reset. And you go, now it's match number 2.
Right.
So it does. I have not watched a lot of WWE Survivor Series. I think I watched an NXT one and maybe another one. So I'm really not well versed on it, but I'm not interested, but I might watch this year.
Right. I think I'll watch this year because I'm interested in the Sammy back in the bloodline thing. And that was the last one I really loved was Sammy trying to prove himself in the War Games match. Was like it was a really good story they had going.
Yeah.
My big issue with the War Games is that it does feel, it's called War Games. It literally feels like you need an army to be at war with another army. And to do it, it's the same problem with Hell in the Cell. The fact that they haven't course corrected for War Games is that it's not, you can't, every year there isn't going to be some giant faction fighting another giant faction for 6 months. Right. Mm-hmm. And so when they first brought it back to NXT, I remember feeling like, yeah, this warranted it. Because there was 3, and by the way, it was a 3 corners match when they first brought it back. I remember it was not one team versus one team. It was 3 teams of 3, if I remember correctly. Right.
I don't know.
And it felt, I guess I meant right as in, are you paying? Like, did you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Yeah. Like it was 9 people in it. Okay. And it was 3 teams of 3. And if I remember correctly, it felt like something that had been brewing for a while. So it felt like, oh, this is a great thing to bring back to end this specific feud. And then I felt like now we're doing this every year, so we have to cram something in to fit it, which is what has been the problem with Hell in the Cell for years. It's like
they course corrected that this year.
And that's what I just said. I'm surprised they course corrected that, and they're not acknowledging that the exact same problem is.
Well, Triple H had acknowledged that, and then that's why Survivor Series works, right? Because at any point it's like, well, you will be a captain. You got to figure out a team, and that's how you win or lose. But to have this epic,
like, oh, we've happened to have been feuding for the 3 months leading up to this specific pay-per-view every single year.
Yeah, it kind of 5 of us, forced. So it's cool.
Yeah, and I do think that the other thing is that I think having a men's and women's every single time, it's too much in one night.
Way too much.
Like some years have it be the men's, some years have it be the women. It doesn't need to be both. It's like, well, we brought the cages, the rings are set up. Let's just have, like, it's totally necessary.
Because you can't. How do you surprise everyone and do multiple things, and also those time limits? Not time limits, but okay, you got to wait 25 minutes for this thing to happen twice.
Yeah.
And
like, yeah, I don't know. We went to that one with
you did.
Yeah, with Dale and
I was really hoping you forgot Alexander's name. With
no,
I put a ring on it.
And that was only the second one since they brought it back once they brought it back. And I will tell you, I loved that match because when you're there in person, it is fun and it is exciting. I understand why the crowds go crazy. If there was a second one that night, I do not think it would have been as enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like I honestly,
one of them would have been
first off, it was only like a 2.5 hour show to begin with because it was back when NXT was killing the takeovers, when it was like, we have 4 matches tonight, right? And they're all half hour long, and maybe there's a little piece of business in between some of them. So it was like perfect timing. It didn't feel too long. And that final moments of that match felt so fun and celebratory. Also, the thing that used to happen at Survivor Series.
Who fought each other and who won?
It was the Undisputed Era versus Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the Viking Raiders.
Look at the memory on you for that.
And what was fun is Pete Dunne and Ricochet like donned Viking Raiders gear. So it was like we made ourselves a team, right? And when I say donned gear, I mean they painted their faces. They didn't like wear fur.
It's like Kurt Angle and the Shield.
Yeah, they cosplayed.
Me too.
But the difference is that they cosplayed as the cosplayers.
Oh man.
But it felt fun and it felt like a big deal. But if they were like, we're doing it again, I would be like, no, I'm good. So I don't know. It feels like, yeah, I want a Survivor Series match. I miss them. They're fun.
But you have also not ever seen any
the old ones,
early War Games. Correct?
I think I did once. Wait, RoboCop wasn't in a War Games, was he? Like that event, the one he came out, that wasn't part. That was a different caged item. Was that like the double stack cage?
Someone's in like a shark cage.
Okay, yeah, because I remember him ripping. But that wasn't a War Games though, because I definitely saw that.
I don't believe so, because I can't imagine why.
I know he would
when
come
the
out
competitors are in a cage and then they go, well, then this guy's also in a cage. Like,
I know.
Why? Everyone who's going in is going in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like he came out and broke into the War Games thing.
No.
Okay.
No, so we're doing visuals. Sorry, everybody. Entrance way right here, where I'm at. And then crowd, person in cage is here.
Right. Like the people
ring
who
and
wait.
stuff is out here.
Yeah.
So RoboCop comes here. RoboCop doesn't come down and to the ring, go through ropes and like, oh shit.
Right. Okay.
The anklets are falling off. Uh-oh.
Well,
someone grabbed my buttocks plates.
So yeah, so then I don't think I ever saw any of the old classic War Games matches then.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's maybe something add to the to-do list.
Oh, it's been there.
All right, well there you have it. Once again, thanks Mass Llama for the call. We appreciate anytime anybody gives us a buzz, please give us a call. Have your voice heard here on the program. Lend your voice to us. Ask your questions. Give us your comments at 747-666-5606. 747-666-5606. That'll do it for the program this week. Scott Narver, we need to thank our current Patreon Palskis.
Yes, the only show that hands out Retribution names as well as Maximum Male Model names for now. It's coming to an end. So if you want to sign up and get some stupid names, maybe they can be Xbox or PlayStation handles for you. You know, if you have trouble coming up with.
Use them on the Discord.
Yeah, any of that stuff. So thank you to AJ0314, aka Binary, aka Matrice69, aka the current PWP champ, Alex Pierce, aka Figs, aka Zitoys, Andrea Beeler, aka Pollen Hate, aka Acute Detest, Gilbert Short, aka Goliathon, aka Batal Underoos, Mass Llama, aka Spitz, aka Jakara Lover, Michael Beltran, aka Limestone, aka La Naturelle, Mike Lucas, aka Hackensack, aka Luger Testicle, Suicide, aka AKA Je ne sais who, Tim Redbeard,
every time.
aka Blood Fuzz, aka Blue de Fuse, Tom Hader, aka Cupid, aka Cherub, and Tony Griggs, aka Big Griggs, aka Grand Grisois.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the program. We would not, could not, should not do this without you. That'll do it. Hey, you know all the stuff. Check out the shop over at dragonwagonshop.com. Check out the Discord.
Getting up on the holidays. It's time to get the orders in. You want them to show up in time, and they can be gifts if your loved ones are like, what do you want? You buy all this wrestling shit. I don't know who. Do you want Wyatt 6? I heard you talking about that. Like, no, give me Palski's things.
Send them the links. Add some sweet sweet Palski and DWR merch to your wish list this holiday season. And that'll do it. Find us on the socials at PW Palskis. And find us on the Discord. Completely free and a super fun place to hang out.
For war
games.
games.
Shoot the shit.
You can shoot the shit. And then when you're all there, you can go like, hey, did you hear my dream matches when I called the hotline? Did you hear my dream matches when I called the hotline?
And I'll pop on and I'll be like, who do you guys think's going to get eliminated first? And you'll be like, it's not elimination. And I'll be like, oh, I forgot.
You're like, oh, I miss NXT Black and Gold.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had fun. As always, it's an absolute blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. If you're enjoying this show, check out DragonWagonShop.com and get yourself some sweet merch while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. That's DragonWagonShop.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.